All right, Facebook Live, Technical Tuesday. Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Mark. I miss you.
I miss you too. I hope you guys missed us. We were in Monterey at the PMA for a week, and we missed a Tuesday and a Friday.
I know, we were busy.
Busy.
So busy. It was unbelievable. I can't even believe what a great week we had.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I'm still a little foggy though, a little tired. That even though it's only 3 hours difference, the jet lag is a real thing.
Yeah, well, I came home and 2 kids had 2 head colds, so that's why I'm here and you're there.
Laurie's in the kitchen. I'm in the studio.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today, which is the most basic things that everybody should do as soon as possible.
Right. And I was surprised at the number of people that I spoke to at the PMA. There's 1,000 registrants this year that haven't really seen to what we're about to talk about.
Right.
At least not in a very proactive way.
Right.
So we're talking about Google My Business.
Google My Business. If Google doesn't know you, forget about it.
That's right. And it's literally the front lines of your clients finding your studio. And, your studio may be on there, but that doesn't mean the information is correct. And that doesn't mean there's photographs and all the information that's going to help people choose you over, somebody else.
Right. It looks like, if you haven't optimized your Google listing, if a client does find your Google My Business, it looks like the lights are off.
Yeah. You want to show how easy it is?
Yeah, of course.
I want you to share your screen. Obviously, Laurie's Google My Business has been seen to. So what you're going to see is one that's mostly done, I think. I haven't looked at it.
I have neglected it, though, in the past couple of weeks. So
yeah. It happens to all of us. We're busy teaching, doing payroll, all that stuff.
All that stuff. All right. So how do you get there? Open your Gmail.
And of course, you're going to want to open the account that is being used to manage your Gmail. I'm sorry, to manage your Google My Business. And if you're one of those that hasn't claimed it yet, then be wise and thoughtful about which address you choose. The best practice is really to use a professional domain, your name at your website name.com. But if you don't have that, that's okay. The Pilates Studio is one that happens to use a Gmail. You guys inherited that, right?
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I didn't even see you get in there. Did you click on the 9 dots?
I did. Yep.
Okay. I want you to talk to folks through that in case they didn't see it.
Oh, sure. So starting in my Gmail, I went right up here to this little grid, which will get you pretty much anywhere you need to go in Google.
Right. All things Google can be found on the 9 dots.
All things Google. And scrolling on down, you want to look for the little storefront. Click on that. And this is where it dumped me.
All right. Interesting. Yeah. Do you understand what we see here? You've got 2.
I think that was when we first opened the studio. It was a lot of confusion about what email address was connected to one Google. I think it was because we split away from another studio.
Right.
So I just ignore that one. I mean, you can see it's not even verified.
Okay, so that might be the case for you guys. If you go in and there's more than one of your studio, you want to claim them both and then shut down the one that is a duplicate. It's a bad idea for your business to show up twice as 2 different businesses. Even if the information perfectly matches, it's just confusing.
Confusing to the internet.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so verification has been done on her main listing, and if you haven't done it, it involves sending a postcard. They'll drop it in the mail to you, and that's really a great thing because it's proof positive that you're literally at that address checking the mail, and you receive that postcard, and then they give you a little code that you use to complete the verification, which Laurie's already done.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was super simple. They walk you right through every step.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the listing.
All right.
There's so many opportunities to optimize, you guys, and it can't be overstated how important it is to make sure that your information is accurate, right down, to the last punctuation mark in your physical address.
Yeah, like capital letter, whether you write street, STREET, or ST period.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the actual information that you have control of. The home just kind of gives you an overview of performance and how many people have searched and all that sort of thing.
Okay.
But on the left-hand side, you've got all those choices: post, info, insights, reviews. Let's start with info.
Let's do it.
And info literally is the info that represents your business. And the category is super, super important. And you don't get to make up your category. Google has a list of pre-done categories.
Yep.
So you choose the one, and in our case, it's physical fitness program.
So yeah, if you had to change that, you could click here.
Oh, interesting. Okay, 2 categories. My bad. Pilates Studio is a category, and then you get to choose another and another and another if there's more relevant ones.
Okay.
Or additionally relevant ones. So yeah, you have actually 2.
So if we also had like massage therapy or PT, we could probably list those.
Right. My advice, take it or leave it, 20 years in this business, I figured a couple of things out. Even if you have minor services, if they aren't a big part of your revenue, it's actually better not to add lots and lots of categories because it kind of thins out your focus.
Right.
If you're mostly about Pilates, then make it about Pilates. And then let people discover that you have additional services as well. Now, obviously, if you're 50-50, if you're PT and Pilates, you're going to want to do both of those because it's a half and half revenue model. But just be careful about diluting your marketing by putting too many things in there.
All right.
Cool. Oh, man, how important are hours?
It's funny. We have very varied hours. It depends on the teacher's schedule. It changes every week, but hours are super important. So even if you have to give a general idea about when you're opened and closed, really important for Google to know that.
Right. And if you put it out there that it's okay to walk in, if you're that kind of studio, you just make sure that your hours are up to date. This happens to me a lot with the restaurants. I'll look up a restaurant and it says they're open. It's Sunday morning, right? It says they're opening. I get in the car or I walk there, God forbid. I walk 2 miles to get a little exercise and then I get there and they're closed. Am I going to go to that restaurant again? No, because I'm mad.
Right. And if they're not paying attention to these details,
right, what else are they ignoring as well?
Paying attention to.
Yeah. So can't be, overstated about how important your hours are. If it ever possible, bookmark it on your toolbar there. You could drag Google My Business right onto among those other ones that you have, and make sure that your staff is paying attention to it and look at it every now and again.
And also, I know in the United States, we have a lot of major holidays: Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a given that businesses are typically closed. But then for the other more minor holidays, like Memorial Day, I don't mean minor, like they're not important, but like Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, clients, we always get inundated with phone calls. Are you open? Are you open? So really important to, update those closed holidays.
Yeah. And, for the fitness business, those holidays like Memorial Day, Labor Day, where it's a government holiday, but we're not like off celebrating or anything.
Right.
It's a big opportunity for fitness businesses because people aren't at work.
Right.
So if you've got staff willing to work, then you should put your hours as open and, fill up your schedule on those days when people are available to come in and maybe see you for the first time.
Right.
Cool. All right. So that's really important. Fill in all the blanks is, every time there is something that you can do. You guys happen to be integrated with oh, I thought you were going to actually enter something there. Integrated with Wellness Living, and Google My Business has an integration, I think, for Wellness Living and Mind Body that allows you to put a scheduling. She scrolled past it, but it's up there. Yeah, right there, appointment URL.
Yep.
Yep. It's interesting that I don't see any services listed for you guys.
Let's go ahead and
I'd put them in there because even if people don't need them. Oh, interesting.
Look, it's pulling right from.
Oh, how cool is that? Okay. That's good to know. So even though you look at it and it looks like there's nothing there, the moment you click on it, you'll see that your integration is taking care of it for you.
That's all of our services. Very cool.
Great. Super cool. And obviously the website, okay, I see. That bounced us down to another item on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that bounced us down here to services. I'm just curious to see what add item looks like. All right, so if you had anything else you wanted to put in there, if something wasn't being pulled through your scheduling software, you could add it here.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that, especially if you're using Wellness Living. If you know, we all have our problems with our software. And if there's something missing, try adding it in your software and then have it try to pull it in first, because I have no idea what's going to happen if you manually add an item to a whole list of things that have been pulled in. It may make all of your other items go away.
Right.
I don't know. So take the safe route on that.
Good point.
Yeah. Cool. So there's lots of things here. Let's talk about reviews for a minute.
Okay.
Boy, how important is that? You know, reviews are the reason why they choose you over someone else.
So important. I mean, I don't know about anyone else out there, but when I'm looking for something nowadays, whether it's a product or a service, I mean, the first thing I do is look at who has the most reviews and then how many stars they have. I don't buy anything that doesn't have, you know, a good amount of reviews, much less I don't buy anything that has 3 or under.
Right. I have a feeling that you'll be confident about this. Open up another browser tab and search for Pilates, you know, Western Mass or Pilates Hadley or whatever.
Pilates Hadley.
Okay, and you guys are all familiar with the maps results. So scroll down a little bit, Laurie. We want to make sure they see the maps results. Okay. So you know, you're like the only game on this particular page, so it's not a great example.
Okay.
But if you put in more of a search result, Pilates Western Mass, you're the only Pilates studio really in Hadley. So
That's true.
Google did a great job by showing everything about you. But what I'm hoping for here is to get a few more results. There's one in Long Meadow. All right, so another bad example. We're in a small market, so it's kind of hard to emulate what some of you guys are going to do. Open up another tab and do Pilates Chicago.
Okay. Oh, I got to move our little pictures down. All right. Pilates.
You could use the voice thing.
I could.
And do Illinois as well, IL.
Okay.
That way we're not having another fail. All right, here's what I've been trying to get you guys to see is the maps results. I know you've seen it before, but we're really making a point here. Scroll down a little bit, show us the results. Okay, so maps is now, 4 they're showing. And look at that, 10, 14, 15, 6. If you were visiting Chicago for the first time and you were gonna make a quick decision, which one would you make? Just based upon the reviews alone.
Right here.
I'd go to Studio 8.
Yep.
Right. So if you're not the leader in your marketplace, this is the first thing people see. Even if they're not using, you know, Google as their search engine, those Google reviews are going to be pretty much prominently featured.
Right.
So you know, and it's the search engine that 80% of people, I believe, use today. Those numbers fluctuate from time to time, but they're a huge leader.
Right. And I can tell, like, even, you know, as a consumer, I'd be looking at this and does this ad mean that they're paying to be on top?
Correct. That's why there's 4 instead of 3. Gotcha. Because, you know, the maps results went from 10 a number of years ago down to 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But if you click more places, you'll get the top 20.
Okay. Yeah. So my eyes would definitely go to reviews. And then over here, like, oh, I can schedule online. I can go to their website. Up here, I can't schedule. So I might, you know, be a little bit more just not inclined to go to that one first.
Right. Now, I'm actually a little shocked here. If I owned any of these studios, bravo for being in the top maps results, but there is no clear winner here. And this is Chicago.
Hey.
Right. Let's go back to the tab that you're on, Laurie. And I just want to show you what proactivity looks like. Look how many reviews
we want to go
Pilates Studio has. You know, even though we're the only game in Hadley, we're not the only game within 10 or 15 miles because these towns in New England are all very small. So look at that. We're in a little tiny market and Laurie has 41 Google reviews, right? The nearest competitor has what, 5? If you were to search like Northampton or Amherst.
So these are towns next to us.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's the map view.
Okay, but still not even close. Renew has 18, no contest, 41, 5 stars. Yeah, ooh, look, Pure Barre. But Pure Barre is not really a competitor.
No. I mean, they do, you know, they're not Pilates and they're all group fitness.
Yeah.
Rather than sessions and stuff.
So that's the takeaway, you guys. If you're not dominating against your competition, you really want to focus on that. And I know Laurie uses kind of a hybrid approach. Wellness, Living, Mind, Body, they all have a feature that allows you to programmatically ask for reviews. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the key to getting reviews is asking for them. The studio that asks gets.
Right.
If you just leave it to fate and people are busy, you're not going to be the leader in the marketplace.
People are not going to be, you know, in between errands and say, oh, gee, I had a great Pilates class today. I'm going to go to a place to leave a review.
You know, as a marketing guy that have been doing all these years, I can't believe that still today in 2019, like I'll go to a BNI meeting, for example, it's a business networking meeting, and I'll tell people, look, you know, if you're not dominating in your reviews, your phone is not ringing and someone else's is, and they don't believe it. Because they just, I don't know, there's a disconnect. Mm-hmm. And there are a few people in the last few years that I've really gotten through to. Mm-hmm. One is a therapist, a good friend of ours, Sarah. Mm-hmm. And she finally took it to heart and made it a point to ask for reviews. And voila, like I told her, the phone would begin to ring and people would say, the reason why I called you is you've got the best reviews in the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And the disconnect is just, I just don't get it. I mean, they're there for a reason. Why would we ever think that somehow our business is immune to that?
Right. And like, I mean, even when you look at Amazon and like, you know, major players, like it's all about reviews. That's how people like us find products and services now.
Exactly.
The research, it's what the internet says.
That's right. Well, even more importantly, it's what all the other people that are just like me say. Right? It's not the internet saying it. The internet is just a vehicle for the opinion of people that have the same wants and needs as I do. Yeah. You know, which is success. I want to raise my chances of making a purchase that really satisfies me on every level. It just makes total sense why reviews are so influential today.
Right. And if everybody else says it's great, then what am I missing? I'm going to go there too.
Right. It's like driving downtown, anytown, USA on a Friday night. You got restaurants, one's on one side of the street, one's on the other. There's a line over here and there's nobody over here. Which one are you going to, decide is probably the best?
Exactly.
It's the one with the line.
It's worth it.
All right. So that's so important. I hope it's clear that you guys, if you haven't done it, do it because it's going to make a big difference in your world. Mm-hmm. I want to talk just before we go, if it's cool with you, Laurie, about the insights and how important for local businesses Google My Business is as a place to look for, did that work? Did I get any results from what I just did? Mm-hmm. So what I'd like you to do, this page right here is not as useful as what I'm about to show you. And most people have no idea what I'm about to show you. This is just a list of things. 135 users typed that word, Pilates. 74 typed Pilates Studio Hadley. Pilates near me, 50, right? Mm-hmm. So that's just some insights about how people are finding you. Useful information, right? Look at that, pole dancing classes near me. That's so interesting. We don't have pole dancing classes.
Not yet.
Right. So what could this be? If you see people are actually finding you for something that you don't have, mm-hmm. that's an opportunity to go, could we offer that? Mm-hmm. Right. And are there enough people asking for that it would warrant hiring a teacher, putting in whatever equipment is necessary?
Right. Or even workshop.
Yeah. Here's what I really want you to see. Go to the home. Right. Okay. We want to get to the home where you had the 2 versions of the Pilates studio. So you might have to go back to the 9 dots. Or that right there. Perfect. All right. Watch what happens when you put a check mark next to the Pilates studio.
This one right here?
Yep. Actions menu comes up, doesn't it?
There it is.
Look what's in here.
That one?
Insights. That's the one. All right. So this is where you want to go when you want to get a baseline for where you are today. Let's say, for example, that this week we're going to do a major listings push for the Pilates studio, which guess what? We are. Major listings push means getting all the other listings too, making sure they're a perfect match.
Like you're talking about like Yelp and Bing and
super pages, yellow pages, Chamber of Commerce, all those listings that are out there. There's literally hundreds of them.
Okay.
And the reason why they're important is Google My Business is at risk because they're the source of their own information. So if you're Google, you say, all right, what if I'm wrong? Right? What if I have the wrong information about this business?
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous about referring this business to someone who types for what you do until I've verified that that information is correct and useful and therefore useful.
Right, because Google wants to be useful.
Exactly. That's their job number one. So what Google does is they go out and they look for your business on all the other listings. And every time they find an exact match, that's another, like a thumbs up for your business. Mm-hmm. There's 10, there's 20, there's 50, there's 60 matches. They're going to take you way more seriously than your competitor that hasn't done that. Okay, but here's the point I'm trying to make is Google looks for that. And if you want Google to be nice to you, you want to do that too. But before you do it, you want to get your baseline. Click next. Okay, so what you can do is change the time frame. What I like to do is 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah. And I literally download that report and keep it.
Okay.
Because in 30 days from now or a year from now, I want to look back and say, okay, I did all this. Mm-hmm. Do I have double, triple the amount of phone calls? Mm-hmm. Do I have double, triple, quadruple the amount of asking for directions, right? Are my insights higher and higher and higher as a result of what I did to market my business? It's unbelievable what some things will do. If you get all your listings in order, you're going to see all those numbers go up almost instantly. If you get reviews and more than your competitor, you're going to see those numbers go up almost immediately. If you increase the speed of your website host, those three things together, you will immediately see your insights go up.
Hey, Ghostbusters Mom!
Right. There's my buddy Ethan.
There he is.
All right, so this is interesting information. Look at that. The number of times customers, don't keep scrolling. Okay. Yeah, I want to read some of these. Okay. The number of times customers found this listing by searching on Google search or maps, 2,171, right? Mm-hmm. The next one is slightly different. The number of times the customer found you by searching for the business name or the address. Mm-hmm. So the difference is people who don't know who you are and people who do know who you are. Wow. And what you're seeing here is more people are finding you that don't know who you are than do.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's scroll down to some of the other ones because what I really like to see is people searching by category. There's 1,300. Total views, you were seen 2,900 times in 30 days.
In 30 days.
In 30 days, yeah.
I mean, again, it goes back to like, are your lights on? Like,
yes.
The storefront on Main Street and, you know, almost 3,000 people walked by. Are they going to see lights off and, you know, tables put up on, or chairs put up on tables? Or are they going to look in and see a, you know, bustling studio, people working out? Yeah. So scroll a little bit more. So the first one was total views, 2,900 plus. Search views is 1,054 of 2,900, and maps views is 1,883 out of the 2,900. Mm-hmm. Right? So they've kind of divided it up a little bit. Okay. I love the actions, right? Because this is where you really want to see a change. Right. Number of times that people have taken any action, 307. The number of times they've clicked on your website, 213. The number of times people have asked for directions, 74. And the number of people who have called, 20. Interesting.
right? So let's say we did a big push
Mhm.
and we fixed everything.
Yep.
In 30 days, what would you want to see when you come back in here?
I would definitely an increase.
Yep. And what if it was double?
Well, first of all, I'd be like, oh, why didn't I do that sooner?
Why did I do it sooner? Oh, I love it.
Then I would say, what else could I do?
Yeah, I love it. All right. So there's I think we should leave it at that. If you could stop sharing your screen, let's talk just for a couple minutes. So what we're going to do, not next week, but within the next month, we're going to do a listings push for the Pilates studio. And then we're going to get to see Laurie's reaction to the difference in her insights.
Cool.
Because what does more phone calls mean?
More leads, more clients.
More revenue.
More revenue.
Right. Everything leads to more revenue. And if more people are asking for directions, that means more revenue.
Right.
If more people are seeing more 5-star reviews, which you already won that race, but you're not going to take the foot off the gas, that means more revenue. So we're hoping to give you a really nice example of inspiration on that you should do this too.
I can't wait.
Well, cool. Thanks for walking us through that, Laurie.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me from home.
What does the rest of your day look like? Taking care of a sick boy.
I have a sick boy, but he's laying on the couch playing video games. So I'm going to get, cracking on some things I have on my to-do list. Being in Monterey last week, I let a lot of my work slide for networking and whatnot. So I got to go catch up on that to-do list.
All right, cool. Well, let me know if you need anything from this end.
Yeah, you too.
All right, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you on Friday.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.